Welcome into a brand new edition of the 06010 ESPN Communications podcast. And we have a very special guest, the first in studio guest on the podcast today, Max Adler, senior financial analyst and recently retired professional lacrosse player. Max played in the PLL, MLL, and NLL. Max, thanks so much for joining the podcast today.
Thanks, Alex. Super excited to be here with you and talk the PLL season, recent retirement, and whatnot. It's an honor to be the first in-person guest, so I'm super excited.
Yeah, we'll get into your retirement. You just announced it last week later on in the podcast, but the PLL season starts this Saturday, June 1st. It will feature the 2023 PLL Championship rematch between the Utah Archers and the Philadelphia Water Dogs on ABC and ESPN Plus at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. What was it like playing in the PLL?
It was awesome playing in the PLL. Just, getting to play on the ESPN family of networks while working here was really cool. Just to have the dual of like working here and then seeing the lacrosse aspect also on ESPN. So it was really just such a special, great experience. And then just playing like the relationships you make and the support I had from ESPN while I was playing in the PLL, NLL, and MLL, it was really just a great all-around experience for me and something I really couldn't even have dreamed of.
You know, when I heard that you were working here throughout your whole professional lacrosse career while playing professional lacrosse, like what were the challenges that went into that?
Yeah, I think it was just really time management and being super efficient with my time. And then also the aspect of like while I was working, I was 100% focused on my finance job at ESPN. And then I was playing lacrosse, I was 100% focused on that. And while it sounds busy and you can kind of get strung thin, it was really a nice break because lacrosse was a nice break from work, and then work was a great break from lacrosse. So one was very mentally stimulating, the other physically stimulating. So it really was the perfect complement. And it never, both things were things that I loved. Like I'm really passionate about finance and I love lacrosse. So it never felt like, oh, I have to go play lacrosse or I have to go to work. It was really things that I got to do.
So with the PLL starting this coming weekend, walk us through like what would your schedule routine look like travel wise? So you would travel what, Friday afternoon? Can you give us a little insight into what you would be doing if you were still playing this coming weekend?
For sure. So during the week, I, usually wake up around 5 a.m., work out at the ESPN gym, go to the ESPN cafe, go to work all day, and then play lacrosse after work. And then let's say my game's on a Saturday, I'd fly out Friday either before or after work, work from the hotel if I was flying out before work, practice Friday night, walk through Saturday morning, play Saturday night, fly home Sunday.
Unbelievable travel schedule. How did you keep up with that? Because obviously the season is pretty long at times. Like, what do you do to stay focused on both the job and playing professional lacrosse?
I just think it was the mindset of like I loved like playing lacrosse and competing was the coolest experience in the world to play at the highest level on the ESPN family of networks. So for me, it was really just an incredible experience, and I never felt like anything. It was I had to do it or I was so tired or busy. It was really things I got to do. So there definitely times where it's stressful, but there's also times where it was really the coolest experience ever, and I was super grateful for every moment of it.
Now, you mentioned that you came to the decision to retire just last week. Was there any part of you that you thought perhaps you would play this season?
I think after last season, I played on the Buffalo Bandits and we won the NLL championship in front of 19,000 fans. It was Buffalo's first championship in 15 years. So just getting to experience that with the city and having previously won a Major League Lacrosse championship and a Premier Lacrosse championship, this was really the last one I wanted to do because for me, I competed for the championships. That's really because it just brings you and your team together and it's a bond
Sure.
that lasts forever. So getting to experience that and share it with the city of Buffalo, it really felt like the perfect way to go out.
Obviously, it seems like you came to the decision pretty much after you played then, but was it a difficult decision for you to finally come to terms and say, okay, I'm going to hang it up?
Yeah, it definitely was because I still physically was able to am able to play, and the relationships I had in the locker room were just those are my best friends. So it was difficult in that regard, but something I can kind of hang my hat on is I was always 100% prepared for every single game, and the preparation that took place, I never wanted to waver from that. So I was always 100% prepared and put in all the necessary preparation for games. And I was also 100% prepared for work too. So I never wanted those to kind of collide with each other. And it was starting to get tough because I was doing the PLL and NLL. So I really only had like a month, maybe 2 months off all year. So it really was the perfect timing.
And again, with the PLL season kicking off this Saturday on ABC and ESPN Plus, what can fans expect from this PLL season?
Yeah, I mean, you had probably the best draft class ever. The league's as strong as it's ever been. I mean, there's only 8 teams, so you just think about the talent level. I think you could probably make 4 more teams. So the talent level is just so high. So you can expect, high scoring, action packed, big hits. I think it's really one of the most exciting sports you can watch.
Now, Max, this is my favorite part of any interview I do. It's the Fast Five quick round. It's 5 quick questions. It's the Feuz Fast Five round. What are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
All right, you played for Team Israel in the World Championship back in 2018. What was your favorite moment from that championship game?
So yeah, playing in the World Championships, my favorite moment. I lived in Netanya, Israel for a couple months and got to really coach the youth there and help bring lacrosse to certain areas. So having all those kids come to my game and cheer me on was a really cool special experience for me.
The second one, the Broncos own the Denver Outlaws, a team you played for at the time. Did you ever cross paths with any Broncos players while you were there?
Yeah, so after we won the 2018 championship, we got flown out to a game and got our rings on the field. And Von Miller came up to us and congratulated us, which was really cool. Just him knowing like who we were and him being really excited for us. So that was a really cool experience.
Did you ever cross paths with Peyton Manning?
Yes, I did. And I got to say hi to him once, which was a really cool experience.
That's so cool. What's your favorite thing about working at ESPN?
My favorite thing about working at ESPN is just the culture we have here. I mean, how supportive people were during my lacrosse career. Whenever I would be playing in a game, I'd always get Field Yates texting me saying good luck or congrats. And even Randy and Gary gave me a shout out on SportsCenter after we won the championship. So that was pretty cool and special.
Favorite arena you played in?
It's got to be Banditland, KeyBank Center in Buffalo. They get upwards of 19,000 fans. So that's definitely the coolest arena I've played in.
And then for the last one, for the Feuz Five, what would be one piece of advice you would have to a college lacrosse player looking to play pro lacrosse?
I would really just say like now it's on your own. So you have to want to do it. No one's going to force you to practice. You really have to take the initiative to kind of figure out the things yourself to be best prepared and really lean on some of the other veterans and pros that have been there for a while.
And Max, my last question for you on the 06010 ESPN Comms podcast today is if a 15-year-old kid walked up to you today and asked, why should I watch the PLL this weekend on ABC and ESPN Plus, what would you say?
I'd say, why shouldn't you? It's, you're getting some of the best athletes playing the sport. It's fast paced, goals, physical, really nothing more you can ask for.
Max, thanks so much for joining us on the podcast today. And I really appreciate the time.
Thanks, Alex. It was a pleasure to be here.